I'm joined here today by Jinh Yu Frey, who's coming off first title defense, coming off a big win over Amina Grusander at Invicta FC 33. Jin, how are you today?
Doing well, thank you.
We're glad to hear it. And so obviously it was a big performance, your first title defense. How do you look back at your overall performance?
Yeah, I'm a little. I really wanted to get a finish, but that's not always the case. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it. This has been a really hard camp for me. Very emotional. I feel like I had a lot of adversity to overcome in my personal life, and so to get out there and win and defend my title and make a statement, I feel pretty good about it.
And so how did it feel getting that first title defense out of the way? I know a lot of people, they say it's harder to hold on to the title. How did that all feel?
Like relief. There's a lot of pressure going into this one, a lot of stress. Like I said, a lot of stuff going on in my personal life. So, I came into fight week, feeling very heavy. But I persevered and I got in there and I took care of business.
And one of the storylines last time you guys fought that came out afterwards, there was some odor controversy. Was there any of that this time around?
I'm not going to say she smelled like flowers, but, it is what it is. And, I'm not going to make a big deal about it this time. I called her out for it the last time and, whatever, it doesn't matter.
But not to harp on it, but was it better this time around, you feel?
I will say it didn't seem as bad this time. Maybe just because I was, in the zone and I was like, it doesn't matter. I don't care what she tries to do. But, it is what it is.
And so you did mention earlier that you had some issues with your camp. We do know, of course, that your dog died and you had a lot of things going on. How tough was it for you, just getting through this camp?
It was honestly a monumental task. There was probably about a 2-week period where every day I was thinking about, pulling out and, I kind of lack of motivation, lack of energy. Every day it was just a struggle to get to the gym. Emotionally I felt very fragile, just little things going wrong felt like they were just huge obstacles. So it was a tough camp for me, but I had the right team in place and the right coaching staff, and we were able to get through it.
And how were you able to get through it? Is this a case of, leaning on some family, leaning on your training partners, coaches, and everything? How were you able to get through all that?
A little bit of everything. I really tried my best to kind of compartmentalize, what was going on and just not think about it and, just get up, one step at a time. Okay, I got to get to training. I need to have a good training session, and just one task at a time.
And so getting back to this, it was kind of a rivalry with Mina. Did you feel like there was any beef going on?
For sure. I don't really follow just a ton of social media. When I'm in camp, I try to stay focused. I'm trying not to get off on, who says what and what's happening. But of course, I don't know exactly what she said, but I know that she was talking a lot. And so that was definitely a little bit of fuel to my fire, in addition to just everything else I had going on.
And you mentioned it was fuel to your fire. Did that help you overall just because you wanted it more, or was it just some people find it that it's a distraction?
I haven't decided, because I feel like a lot of times when you get in there and you're emotional, you tire out faster. You're not making the most the most level-headed decisions. And you get kind of stuck in this head hunting mode. But, a lot of people are like, hey, we thought you fought really good. So I don't know, maybe it was good. Everybody's like, I like angry Jin. So I haven't decided yet.
And so are you happy to be done with this? We call it a rivalry, but are you happy that it's past, you got the title, you beat it the second time around, and you get to put that past you?
I am. Just, to have a little bit of time now to kind of relax and breathe and, kind of deal with, the loss of my pet and kind of work through those feelings. Whereas before I'm trying to just lock it away and not think about it. So it's kind of nice to have a little bit of time now, like I said, to let the dust settle and just breathe a little bit.
And so you fought twice this year, obviously both fights title fights. Were you hoping to only fight twice, or were you hoping to maybe get 3 or 4 this year?
I like to stay pretty busy, just because I'm getting older and I don't have just a ton of time left. But, having 3 or 4 3-round fights is good. When you start getting up to those like 5-round fights, 2 to 3 is a good amount. Like to make that weight cut and put your body through all of those rounds in preparation, it's a lot. So 2 to 3 is okay for title fights.
And so speaking of those title fights, obviously 2018 had a lot of highs for you, with 2017 not finishing quite the way you would have wanted. How do you look back on this year, professionally?
I have to say it was a good year. I accomplished a lot of goals. I won the title. I defended the title. They can't all be rainbows and butterflies. I lost my dog, and so that's, a huge impact for me. But overall, it was a good year.
And so, of course, we are in holiday season. Do you have any plans to celebrate or anything that's going on around this time?
Well, we normally always drive back home to Amarillo for Thanksgiving, and this year we weren't able to do that. We had to skip it. So we're just going to drive home for, Christmas this year and see some friends and family that we didn't get to see over Thanksgiving. I have two training partners in training camp, so I'm sure I'll be back in the gym. Like, I was actually going to go back this week, but I have a couple of things that need a little time, so I'm sure I'll be back in there next week.
And how good is it not to have to worry about a weight cut? I'm sure you weren't able to do too much for Thanksgiving, and now this time around, you're free.
It's great. The weight cut always just weighs so heavily, and yeah, 105 is not a good time, so it'll be nice to kind of let loose and not calorie count all Christmas long.
Of course. So you mentioned you did have a few things kind of keeping you out of the gym for this week. Do you have an idea when you'd like to get back in the cage?
I don't know yet. This was actually my last fight on my contract with Invicta, so we have some negotiating to do and some things to discuss, before we even start looking at that.
Okay. And so how does that go? I mean, is that your agent that takes care of that, or are you going to be involved, or what's sort of the process like for, re-signing?
I actually just started working with a manager for the first time, and so I don't know, because this will be my first time letting somebody else handle it. But I imagine, negotiations probably won't even start till after the beginning of the year.
Okay. So, and we're looking forward to seeing what's next for you. And I have just one more. What are your goals for you come 2019?
I don't know. I hadn't really thought about it. Just the title defense was huge, and I hadn't, thought past that or anything. I don't like to put the cart before the horse. And so that kind of just took all my focus, all my energy. So now, I don't know. I have to sit and think about it. And, it's like once you reach one goal, you kind of take a minute, live in the moment, enjoy work, and then start making goals for the future. So I haven't quite got there yet.